G'day everyone, Shane again. So we're now 4 weeks out from my target run, the 2 Bays Ultra, 12th of January. This week's been a really good week. As I said last week, I was planning on doing the Goldrush Trail Run, a 24k local trail run near here. So throughout the week I just did my normal Ks Monday through to Thursday, knocked over about 30k or so in that period, and then I gave myself Friday off, just so I wasn't running on tired legs, and so I'd get a bit of an idea of how I could actually perform in doing the 24k. Like I said last week, I wanted to be able to do roughly around about 3 hours. So on Saturday, headed out to Daylesford nice and early. The event, you need to be, well, you can either get dropped off at the start or you can catch a bus out to the start line, then you run to the finish line where you can leave the cars. So the run itself as well, like I said, goes through some really nice bushland. I'll have that playing like normal over the top of this, but I'm thinking I might do another little video with a little bit more talking about the actual run itself, because it's a really nice run. It's a beautiful place to run as well, and just the event itself is really well organised. So you get sort of bust out nice and early and end up just sort of hanging around at the oval for the start of the run. The run itself is mostly single track for the first few kilometres, and then it turns into sort of mix between four-wheel drive tracks and I guess you go single track again. There's some really beautiful sections along the run as well. I really enjoyed it. Some good climb too. It's a net gain run, and you probably do, I think it's about 400 metres, 500 metres of uphill work for the 24k. So my big goal was to be able to hit the finish line around about 3 hours and feel like I could have turned around and gone back to the start again. And I'm really happy with how it went. I did go 3 hours and 5 minutes, so a little bit over what I actually intended to do. I know myself I could have gone harder, but like I said like last week, I didn't want to put myself to the wall to try and meet the 3 hours and then have to spend time recovering. So I went 3:05, and when I hit the finish line, I wasn't tired or exhausted. Still felt really good, and I guess honestly with myself, I did feel like I could turn around and go back to the start again, so knock out another 24k to go back home. The other good thing with the run was that I ran with the pack how I want to have it set up for 2Bays, so with all the water, sports drink, the gels, everything loaded up, so I get an idea of how it sat when it was fully loaded up. Have been using the pack for my runs on the long runs for the last few weeks, but I've only been running with a little bit of water, which would see me through to the run that I was actually planning on doing. Whereas this week, this one for the Gold Rush, I did want to run it with it fully loaded, so make sure everything sat right, make sure I was happy with how it was packed. I didn't want it moving around, so you spend your whole time shuffling around with the straps and trying to get it to sit comfortable. So to be able to do that, and basically I ran and hardly really noticed it was there. Like obviously you noticed the weight on the shoulders a little bit, but it was nothing that really bothered me. So it sat really good, and so happy with that. So I'm going to stick with how I had it packed for the 2Bays. Sunday I got out for another run again. I did a 10k again, so all up for the week, somewhere in the high 60s, maybe 67, 68k's for the week, which I'm pretty happy with. But what I was more after is on the Sunday, that when I ran out, there was no stiffness or soreness when I was running. Everything felt normal, so pretty happy with switching to the shoes, where I was getting that hip groin pain, which I think was from my heel strike and not having much padding under the heel. So the new shoes I'm running in, I used them on Saturday for the trail run and had no problems at all. So definitely happy with them and be sticking with them for the next few weeks just to go through 2Bays in that. But yeah, it's really good that on the Sunday I went out, did the 10Ks. I think I averaged 5:30s or something for the 10K, which is about a normal run for me. And there was no aches or pains there. So that was really good. You know, it tells me that I didn't push myself too hard on the Saturday run. And again, in my head, that means I sort of stuck to my plan of not drilling myself to get to the finish line and then finding out that you can't run the rest of the way. It was important to me to hit that 24k and know that I could go back to the start line, because there's no point going to the 2 Bays Ultra and having no energy left when I'm only halfway through. So I want to make sure I can actually sustain that and see my, actually see it out to the finish. So I guess that will do for this week. It's starting to warm up here, so hopefully try and get a good week in this week. I think we're actually going to get a lot of mid-30s, so I'll let you know how I go with that next week. But for now, that will do for this week. Hopefully all your training's going well, and thanks for watching. As usual, any comments, questions, whatever, just drop them below. Happy to answer them, and I'll see you all again next week. Thanks for watching.